Hey viewers, welcome to another episode of the Noob Guide for Noobs for Dota 2. Today we are discussing the map layout. So first off, everything that we've seen so far obviously comes into play way more than the map layout, because the map layout is kind of simple. As you can see, this is team number 1 in this case. It is our team. It is the Radiant, so the left side is the Radiant, the right side spawns over here, and that is the Dire. It really doesn't matter, it's more of a lore thing. Basically you have bottom left, top right. So just like in League of Legends, for example. You have 3 lanes. The mid lane, obviously, then you have the horizontal lane, as I like to call it, because it is, well, this lane for top lane. For the Dire. For the Dire it's top lane, for the Radiant it is the bottom lane. These are equal. These are called the short lanes. I don't know why, to be honest. They are they are easier to defend, to stay alive in, than the long lanes. The long lanes are the vertical lanes, which as you can see is top lane for the Radiant and bottom lane for the Dire. So the minions will come up and meet each other somewhere over here. Actually over here would be the ideal spot, and yeah, I guess it's this, I don't guess that, but this side has more trouble ganking than this side. So basically you have all of this this jungle over here. You can sneak around, and as you can see, you can come up behind the enemy team. The enemy team, on the other hand, has to sneak in here or has to run all the way across here to get in here. Yeah, ganking from behind is way harder for this lane than for this lane. So the horizontal lane, normally the easier lane than the vertical lane. That's why the vertical lane is called the long lane and the horizontal lane is called the short lane. At least it has something to do with that. I don't know exactly where long and short are come from, but that's not really important anyway. So on both of these lanes, so top lane and bottom lane, we have a shop on the side. It is called the side shop. You can see it here for this side and here for this side. So it's a little bit into the territory of each of the lanes. So it's accessible for both teams basically. It's not like one team has a real advantage there, although you do have a slight advantage when on the horizontal lane on both sides. So other shops, yeah, I've already shown these, but the secret shops are in the middle of the jungle over here, and of course the mirrored position would be over here. They're not exactly mirrored, but it's close enough. So what's important here is the jungle. So we have only one side jungle on both teams. That is on the bottom side. So the horizontal lanes basically have the jungle. We have a camp over here, a camp over here, a camp over here. That's the main part of the jungle. Then we have 2 camps a little bit to the east of that, sorry, west of that. Wow. One over here and one over here. For this one you have to run all the way around. Well, here you can get through the trees. Then you can get to this one. But normally you are happy to farm these 3 camps. Same goes for the top lane, of course. You have a camp over here, and then a camp over here, and a camp over here, a camp over here. They're not exactly mirrored. So you do have the same amount of camps. It's just that you have to run to different positions here. You can basically see them on the map by these markings on the ground, and yeah, that's just true for every camp. So on the other side, so on the vertical lanes, I guess, you have the Ancients. So they're over here for the Dire, and for the Radiant they're over here. The Ancients are basically really high HP, high damage creatures that also give you a large bonus. So a lot of gold, a lot of XP, and just a good amount of everything. Then here we have Roshan. Roshan, as you can see, Nasher backwards. He was the guy that was in DotA, and Baron Nasher was, well, named after him. He is a high price target, very high price target. He has some nice attacks and abilities and blah blah. And he does carry the Aegis of the Immortal. He will drop that if if he dies. So if you kill him, he drops this. You pick it up, or one of your teammates picks it up. And if they die, they will come back to life 5 seconds later. So it's like Guardian Angel, but only for one guy. And you only get it for 6 minutes, as it says. After 6 minutes, it will disappear. Roshan spawns after 10 minutes, so you can never have 2 in play. And that's a good thing, by the way. So for the rest, of course, we have 2 towers on each side. Then we have the inhibitor tower, which is the barracks tower here. We have 2 barracks, the melee barracks and the ranged barracks. This is a spawn point for the minions, so they don't come from your, what's it called, ancient. They come from this point. And then we have a couple of, well, these are towers, but we have a couple of moon wells, which are just spread around to delay the pushing from the minions, but they're very low HP. They're only 500 HP. You can take them out very quickly, but they're kind of to distract the minions from going through the base in one go. So they don't really mean anything, neither does this thing. It's just to distract the minions from instantly pushing from tower to barracks to ancient. They just get distracted by these little buildings. Anyhow, same on the other side, of course. They look different, but they are the same. Range barracks, melee barracks, tower, and then a couple of these moon wells. And yeah, this is just called building. Well, this is called building as well, I guess. Yeah, they are moon wells, however, from Warcraft 3. Or at least they used to be called that in Warcraft 3. So, yeah, backdoor protection, by the way, is you can't kill towers. Well, you can, but it's very hard to kill towers when you have no minions with you. Because, yeah, they disabled that. They kind of enabled a lot of regen on the tower. So you can kill them without minions, but it's just very hard to do because there was too much backdooring going on. So attacking a tower without minions is a very unwise to do. And yeah, it's just not smart to try unless you really know what you're doing. And yeah, if you're watching this guide, then you probably don't know what you're doing, just like me. So anyhow, that's probably it. Well, concerning the map, I will not go into that anymore. If you have any questions about the map, yeah, you will have to learn the routing a little bit yourself. You can pretty much see from the mini-map where the main paths go. So you have a path over here, and that goes through the entire jungle, and then splits up here, and goes to the right. You do have high ground, low ground. So this, for example, and this would be high ground. That's why you want to ward. If you ward on the low ground, you won't be able to see the high ground. But if you ward on the high ground, first of all, the range of your vision will be enlarged. And second, you will still see everything. So you will still see everything that's lower than it. So 2 points that I wanted to point out. First of all, here, this is extremely high ground. If you place a ward here, it gets a very high vision. So even though it's in a crappy spot, it does provide you with a lot of vision. Same over here on the other side of the map. Yeah, same deal. You can basically find the enemy jungler with this and things like that. Then yeah, there are a lot of paths, and this is really important to understand in the forest. So where in League of Legends, for example, the forest is a static thing that is just the border of the map. Here you can actually run into it. So here's an entrance, for example, and you can run into this path. You can actually run around all of this. You can also eat the trees with some of the items. With the Tango, you can eat trees literally. You can also use the, let me find it, Quelling Blade. It says destroy tree, destroys a target tree. So you can use that. You can also use the scroll of, or the town portal scroll. If you click here with the town portal scroll and you are on this side, of course, then it will destroy these trees. So you will never get stuck on the trees. You can also use your ultimate, or well, some ultimates to destroy trees. Which means that someone is hiding here and you use one of those, you can actually find them. But yeah, these paths, there are a lot of them, by the way. They're really useful for escaping, for making sure that you have people have no vision on you while you're trying to use your town portal scroll to get away, and that's why you always carry one. On the other side, of course, they're here as well. As you can see, there are paths here. They're just harder to see. And I really recommend you check them out and you try them out. So try to find them. For example, here you can run past the tree in both directions. There's a path through here. There's a path here. And there's no... maybe this is a path. I don't actually know. There's no path here, by the way. But if you remove this tree by eating it, you can easily sneak from this camp to this camp. Then there is a little path over here. So this is, yeah, here you can see it. It goes like this. So you can get from this camp to this camp a little bit quicker. There's a path over here, and yeah, there are several more. So here's a path running through this entire thing. It allows you as the mid laner to just duck in here and come out either here or here. And yeah, run away using that. Also, if you're tower diving, and you need to break vision from the turret, you just dive in here and you run back like that. It's very easy. Anyhow, yeah, keep an eye out for high ground. So you have, this is like the lowest, and you have a little higher even, and then you have, well, even higher, and the highest, but you can't really place anything on here, so you can't place a ward here. I tried, but it can't be done. So as I said, there's a lot to be learned from this. So path through here, for example, I have no clue. And well, I do know that you can walk through it if you remove a tree, but I don't really know. I don't think you can actually run through this entirely, even though it seems like you should be able to. I think there's a path here, or it looks like a path, but yeah, you should just try it out and you will find the paths yourself. It is just a matter of learning. And of course here we have some paths going on as well. And well, just all of these small paths make that you have very high mobility, or well, choice, high amount of choices in the jungle. And you should always use that to your advantage when trying to get away. Because if you just stick to the big paths, they're always going to find you. But if you sneak like in here, then eat this tree and then run through, then you might actually make it out, because people don't expect you to run here. People expect you to run there, so they might actually come in here to cut you off. So if someone is chasing you here, and someone will come in over here to stop you, and you might want to use the Tango here, run through this, and then run back into your lane, for example, and back at your turret, or back to this turret. Yeah, those kind of things, you will figure them out when you start playing. And yeah, that's the fun of it, right? So if you have any more questions in general, but maybe about the map, maybe about God knows what, please leave them in the comments, or send them to me directly on YouTube, and I will answer them. Tomorrow I will do the last one that I actually planned, which is discussing playstyle in general. I think after that I will either be doing separate champions, or I will be doing well, more detailed play suggestions. Of course, I'm not a pro player. Definitely not at this game. And I'm still learning, so don't trust everything I say. I'm trying to check my facts as much as possible, but yeah, you never know. Anyway, hope you enjoyed, I hope you learned something, and I will see you next time.